Alright, this is Brad Culp from Lava Magazine. We're here with the man, the myth, the legend, Luke Bell. He's competing in Kona for like the 15th, 20th time. What is it for you this year?
Long time. We're trying to work it out. It's 9 years, I think. 9 years on and 1 year off, just hanging out.
And you started competing in Kona when you were really young. I think the first time must have been you're like 22, 23.
Yeah.
I mean, so you've been doing it for a long time. You got this veteran experience, but you're not necessarily a veteran. You're still kind of a young kid. Do you feel like a young kid out there?
A bit of both. You know, you always go out there, have a bit of fun. That's generally been my way of doing things and dealing with things. But you know, at the same time, you go there, you know what to expect, and you know all the old guys used to say after. It's the same guys that turn up and race at the pointy end of the race every year, and you know after this long you start to realise that there is the same guys at the pointy end of the race every year. There's one or two guys that you know you throw into the mix and have really good days, but at the end of the day there's a lot of hype, but same guys.
Now, you said it's the same guys year after year, but this year we've got a little bit of a wrench. It's changed things a little bit with having the Kona points rankings. You guys have been racing a ton this year. Do you feel any more worn down? Do you think some of the other guys, maybe some of the older guys who are up there, like Crowie's age, those old blokes, that they'll be feeling it?
It's been interesting. Like the Kona points ranking, I've tended to like it. Honestly, I don't think it's affected the Australian guys or the North American guys too much. You know, we generally race a lot. We'll race 5 to 10 times a year, and it really hasn't changed anything. It's been interesting watching the European guys. You look at, Andreas, he's pretty much ballsed up the way that he's gone about getting his points, and then the other guys in Europe generally don't race that much, so they've had to race a lot more to make sure they're on the start lines. And then, as you mentioned, there's the newer guys that have come up, the TOs, and that have put their name in the mix definitely for sure.
Now, any change in strategy for you? You're having this great year. You seem to be really, really fit. You're firing on all cylinders. Does that just give you more confidence going into the race? And are you gonna, maybe go a little harder from the gun, or what's your strategy as you get into the race?
It'll be interesting. We've sat down and tried to think about it, and with the smaller pro fields, only 50, it'll be just interesting to see whether more gaps open up on the bike rather than one mass sort of getting around for the first bit. And I think it's more just, you've still got to be patient. It's a long day, it's a hot day, and you look at the history books and the guys that are the most patient generally come out on top. But at the same rate, you've got these guys now that they want to attack Crowie. We saw it earlier in the year at Abu Dhabi that they laid down the bike. Marino, Freddie Van Leerd, you're going to have Lieto out there, and the other quiet one that's slipping under the radar is Andy Boscher, who's solid South Africa, did well the European halves, and these guys absolutely are going to just, I think, absolutely hammer the bike. Crowie's improved his cycling, so we could see a few more implosions out there and a few death marches on the run, but at the end of the day it comes back to pacing, patience, and then making sure you can back in the race.
Alright, so now you're coming like less than 2 weeks off of this big race in Vegas, really hot race, really hard race. Do you feel recovered from that, and what do you sort of do between, was that your last hard effort and now is it just all tapering and getting focused on Kona, or how do you spend your days getting ready? Yeah,
pretty much Vegas was the last hard effort, and I think for most of the guys that raced, that was their last hard hit out. And the Vegas course lived up to its reputation. It was definitely hilly, hot, and it took a lot longer to recover from that than I think what we anticipated, and hopefully the other guys got back to training a lot sooner than what I did. I think it was a full week before I actually got on the bike over 2.5 hours, and it was just waking up every day and you're just feeling slightly drained. So it'd be interesting to see the guys that raced, how they recovered, and then what they've done between now and Kona, because you're not really going to get that many fitness gains, but you could definitely put yourself in a big hole between now and then.
Great. All right, we'll get some rest, get ready, and we'll see you on the Big Island.
Aloha.
All right.